Hi, my name is Newell Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to do an update on bin number 1. Now, it has been 14 days since my last update. As you know, I've been working through a fruit fly issue. It looks like the issue is mainly solved. Every once in a while I'm seeing one, so there might be still some issues in the basement, but not nearly the amount that I was seeing before. And I haven't seen any come out of the bin when I've opened it up, which is key. So we're probably going to do a small feeding again, and we're going to, add some moisture if it needs it, maybe even a little bit more bedding to make sure everything's covered up. Because when you have a fruit fly issue or you have bugs in general, you really want to make sure you cover up your food. Now, if you have mites or something like that, that's a different issue and you want to handle it differently. But for fruit flies and bugs that are going to dig down, covering it's your best option to try to get them to not go after it. And then also feeding low amounts or less amounts. And I have also found, just to give you a hint here, feeding vegetables is a little bit better than feeding fruits because they really do like fruits a lot better. There's a reason why they call them fruit flies. They tend to come in on bananas and things like that, and you really want to prevent them as much as possible. And veggies, they don't tend to go after quite as frequently. So let's go and take a look and see how the bin is doing. All right, as you can see, the last update was on 2/23, and today is 3/9. I'm going to take my hand away there, which blocks it out a little bit, but this is bin number 1. And let's just see, the lid first is quite dry, so it's very dry in this bin. Now let's just take a look in here. We have marked where we did our last feeding 2 weeks ago, so we'll be able to take a look in here. Again, as I said, I'm not seeing any fruit flies coming out of here, but let me just move this off to the side. So I'm not seeing anything come out, which is a good sign. Lots of paper in here still. I was hoping originally to do a harvest on this, but I've been adding more and more paper. I'm not seeing any cocoons near the surface here. This is actually a piece of a banana stem, and there is a little worm on there too. So there's definitely still working around in here. Now let's just dig up this side over here and see how we're doing on food and everything. In fact, oh wow, we have a worm, huge worm cluster in here where the food is. Look at this. So they're still working at this food. I'm still seeing carrots in there. Actually, I see a fruit fly, but I don't think that's from here. But they are still working on the food in here. But there's a lot of worms you can see. And actually, there's even another little. Look at this right here. This is just a massive pile of worms in here. So I think they're still working through this material. So maybe I won't need to feed this time. Just kind of keep this buried in here. So, but we'll check out the other parts of the bin while we're at it. I'm just going to kind of bury this down in here. I want to make sure that the fruit flies can't dig their way in for any that are left in here in the basement. Let's just take a look in this center section though. So this material still looks really good. Actually, here's a cocoon right here. I'm going to pull this out so you can hopefully see it. So we can see there's a cocoon, nice healthy cocoon there. Actually, there's another one in here right there. I don't know if you can see that where my finger's pointing. So if I can kind of tease that to the surface a little bit. I'll pull that one out too. So there's another cocoon right there. So this one actually has good cocoon protection, looks like right now, which is good. This is away from the food area too, so I'm kind of surprised to see them in here. Usually I find them towards the food area, maybe a little bit under the surface, or I see them pretty steadily. Now this material is a little bit dry, probably needs a little bit of moisture to it. It's a little bit crumbly. The area where the food was had plenty of moisture compared to over here. Let's just dig right down here next to everything. Again, a good mixture of food, castings with the paper. It looks like there's a fruit fly on here. Let me just get him away from there. But looks really good material. There is a worm over there. I'm not seeing cocoons this time. Material looks really good in here though. It's actually a nice dark brown color. There's a lot of times where when I've used cardboard, it's ended up a very light brown. This isn't black like people talk of black gold, with their castings. I don't find you get that when you use cardboard, really. But this is really close. I find you get a more brownish color, especially when you use cardboard. But again, it's very dry. It probably needs a good watering, and I think we'll do that towards the end here. Again, right over here on this side, still great looking material. Not very many worms in here, but they should all be towards the food. If I was actually doing a harvest, or a side-by-side, it'd be great to add that food over here, lure all the worms over, and then actually harvest all this, and then sort it out. So this looks really good, though, this material. As I said, maybe just a tad on the dry side. I prefer having mine a little bit wet. And this side right here, as you can see, there's actually a big worm right there. But not many worms in these sections over here because of that. Here's the shirt that we had in here. And I was actually using to mark where we fed before, but I sort of threw it off to the side with using the plastic to mark that section. Let's just dig to this corner over here. Again, a couple tiny worms. No cocoons that I'm noticing. If you see any on the video that I missed, please let me know. I don't always catch everything. My eyes are not as good as the video once you've blown it up on a full-size TV. And this camera's pretty good at zooming in. So all right, I'm not seeing much in here as far as worms. A couple tinier ones, but nothing major. So overall, the bin looks pretty good. It's quite a bit dry. It's drier than I would like. I think I'm going to add some water, and I'm just going to water it this time on the surface, and then we'll add some more water again later. But it does need a good watering in here. I'm going to keep this on this side. I'm not going to add any food. I don't feel it needs it. They're still working through that food over here, and I really don't want to give them anything else to work on at this moment. You know, especially with the fruit fly issue, there's no reason to lure them in because of food. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to take off my glove here and put it off to the side, and we're going to add a ton of water here. I might do this on a super fast speed unless I'm talking, so that way you don't have to watch the entire time I'm watering. But I'm using my water pump here. I've got it nice filled with water. And let's go. All right, so there we go. There's the water right there. Now, I know that some of you have been asking, like, how deep does this water when I water it? And I know I'm just watering the surface, but water tends to run downhill. But let me just show you here. When I add water, it soaks in just a little bit. But the thing is that water runs down. It's going to run, eventually get to the bottom. I could mix this up, which I'm going to do this time, just to show you here. So I'm going to mix this up a little bit, but because the top is really wet, just show you here. But now I mean, the material feels a lot more sticky than it did before, even all the way down near the bottom. I mean, this stuff just, it does, I mean, it's still crumbly at the bottom, but look, it's all sticky right now on top. So adding water to the top is fine as long as you add enough where it will run down. If you just miss the top, you're not going to do much. But when you really add enough, it's going to run down. It's going to work its way down into the material. So you don't need to mix it necessarily. Now, with adding water, I can actually wait before the next time I add, but I can also come back tomorrow and add more. You don't want to overwater it really, but you want to make sure it is moist. So I'm going to add this Amazon label right here that I've got just as bubble wrap over the section that still has the food in it. And I think that's my update for this bin. And as I said, this has been 14 days, so it took them a while to go through the food that we added last time, and we'll see. Maybe next time we'll add some more food, but you know, I'm just trying to be real careful about adding a lot of food at once. I don't want to overwhelm them, and I don't want to have a fruit fly issue come into this bin, you know, because there are still some in the basement. I don't want them to make a home in here. So thank you for watching. Just a reminder, I do have some affiliate links down below from Amazon. If you are looking to order anything from there, please use my links. It doesn't cost you anything and helps me out a little bit in continuing this process of showing you everything. So if you're looking for worms, I now actually have a link as well to Memes Worms to buy some red wigglers or European night crawlers. She sells both of them. So thank you for watching.